Well, hey fans, welcome back to another movie review, and today we're talking about Dogma. So Dogma is a comedic religious fantasy film directed by Kevin Smith, starring Linda Fiorentino, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, George Carlin, Chris Rock, Jason Lee, Jason Mewes, Kevin Smith, Alan Rickman, Janeane Garofalo, Salma Hayek, and many other names. Now, this is the fourth film in the View Askewniverse, and it follows this abortion clinic counselor named Bethany Sloane, who is having a crisis of faith. She is a Catholic, and she found out that she is unable to have children, and because of that, her husband left her, and she is tasked with basically stopping these renegade angels from ending all of existence. Now, I really enjoy this film. It is the first film in the View Askewniverse that I have seen. The second one was Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. And I, like many people, think that this is one of Kevin Smith's best films in general and within this universe. Now, there's an argument to be made, me personally, that Chasing Amy is actually the best film in the View Askewniverse, movie you cannot make today. But it is really, really good. It is very well done. The way that it pokes fun of the Catholic Church and its customs, and Christianity in general, I think is very well done and tastefully done. He even has these messages at the beginning of the film that states that he's just making a movie here. He's trying to have a little fun. He was raised Catholic, and he's, doing this very lightheartedly. He even has this whole message afterwards about, if God can't be funny, look at the platypus. And then goes on to explain that he apologized for people who like platypuses. It's very well. I think Kevin Smith did a great job with this movie. The actors who are in this, who have gone on to have stellar and enormous careers, is numerous. Like I said, Chris Rock, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. There is one actress who I am surprised did not have a big career, and that is Linda Fiorentino. She starred in this movie and the first Men in Black, and I love her in both. She's a great actress, and the way that she handles, the weight of the world coming upon her when she's a person who lacks faith, I think that she handles it well. She plays it well as a person, who has these Catholic beliefs that have been instilled with her since birth, but yet she works in an abortion clinic. She, doesn't know if God really exists, but yet she sees all these angels and all these demons in real life, and she's now thrust into the world of actually knowing what she previously believed. So I thought that she handled the duality of her role well, and I think it is funny. Like I said, Kevin Smith does a great job, and having the star of the movie being someone who has lost their faith, who comes to have a better idea of it by the end, which is a lot of times how, God works, not only in movies, but in the Bible. You find these people who aren't necessarily the best archetype for being the hero, yet God picks them and they do what he asks. The story of Esau and Jacob and his mom, the stuff that they did to get him to where he was. Wasn't necessarily the best, but he ends up becoming God's chosen one, the father of the entire Israelite people. So I really enjoyed her performance of this. I wish that she had a more stellar career. Apparently, and it's never been confirmed, but she is was a difficult person to work with on set, and then directors just heard about this and just refused to work with her from moving forward. So that's why really Dogma and Men in Black are the only movies that you have seen her in. But boy, if that were not true and she went on, she could have a great career. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck as the fallen angels Bartleby and Loki. Fantastic in this movie. Fantastic writing, fantastic monologues. Both are equally great. And the way that they portrayed these, Loki, who's played by Matt Damon, he was the angel of death. He's the one who killed everybody during the flood. He's the one that killed all the firstborn of Egypt. He quit his job because he was speaking to Bartleby, who was a watcher, whose only job was to just watch people and, see what was going on in the world. Convinced him to quit. God got mad, kicked him out of heaven for all eternity to Wisconsin or whatever part of the earth that was when they were kicked out. And they just are really wanting to go home whether they're angels or not. And I think, Matt Damon's Loki, he gives this great speech to this nun in the beginning about why he does not believe in religion because of watching Alice in Wonderland through the looking glass. And it's actually a great analogy. Yes, there are flaws in it, but if you're just watching it at face value, it is very well done. That whole monologue to her in which he gets her to, go off and do her own thing. And then you have the conversation that he has with Bartleby after, who's like, that there's a God. You've been in God's presence, yet you're telling these humans that there isn't a God. That's funny. Also, the fact, where Bartleby basically goes off the rails and Loki saying, dude, you're sounding like Lucifer right now. Like all of these parallels, it really does feel like Kevin Smith did his research in making the movie. He didn't just want to make fun of religion. He really wanted to dive deep into Catholicism, find out, what bits and pieces am I going to take from here and there to make a well-done movie. And he does a great job. Of course, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck just elevated those roles. Chris Rock as Rufus, the 13th Apostle. Hilarious. The fact he says Jesus owes him $5. Everything with him is great. The late, great Alan Rickman as the voice of God, the angel Metatron. He brings some great, British humor, but his specific type of humor, the way he delivers the lines, the way he talks down to a lot of people in the movie is great, and I will miss him. And I can't forget, of course, in this movie you have Jay and Silent Bob, who are the prophets who are helping Bethany on her quest, whether they want to or not. It is really funny. Jay and Silent Bob popping up throughout the View Askewniverse, I think, is a good thing. These are the recurring characters that this narrative is sewn through. And it works. If you've seen all the way like Clerks 1, 2, 3, Chasing Amy, Mallrats, all of these movies work because they make these small cameos or starring roles throughout. And I can't believe I almost left them out, but they are great. Kevin Smith is great. Playing, a character in his own movie who doesn't really talk a lot. And the story. What's funny to me is that mainly it is poking fun, like not only Christianity, but more specifically Catholicism, and how it's the Catholics who are going to bring about the end of existence through the way that they do things, and the stuff with the Pope and the Cardinal played by George Carlin. I think it's great. I wish George Carlin had a bigger role in this movie, but I think all of that is partially what makes the movie so funny. And like I said, Kevin Smith did not have the rights to this movie. He made it for like Miramax back when Harvey Weinstein was in charge of a lot of things. And apparently like one of the things when Harvey Weinstein was going on trial, he kind of got tried to get Kevin Smith on his side before things hit the fan. He's going to say, hey, you want to make a Dogma 2? Maybe we can make that and give you the rights to your movie back. But of course, he got fired, all that went down. He didn't have the rights to his movie. There was no way to get them back. But finally, after all these years, he got the rights to his movie back. They remastered the sound and the video in 4K, and they're releasing it in theaters this June. Luckily, I was able to see this version early, and it still holds up. It's still a great film. You got the new poster out with the Buddy Christ on it. Like, everything about this movie is great. And it'd be cool if we got a Dogma 2. I don't think that we need a sequel to this in the View Askewniverse. I think that time has passed, although you could figure out a way to make it work if they really needed to. But yeah, Dogma, 25th anniversary, by the way. It's still a great movie, still fun, still relevant, whether you're a Christian or not, whether you're dabbling in Catholicism or not, whatever it is a fun watch. It is a well-written story, and it is well acted, and I highly recommend you check it out. So after all these years, in terms of a score, I still really enjoy Dogma. I'm going to give it an excellent 9.3 out of 10. That's what I still think of Dogma to this day. Like, it was still a very enjoyable watch. And like I said, I don't necessarily think we need a sequel. I think it's a movie of its time and it works the way it does. But yeah, I would love to see some of these characters again pop up in a different View Askewniverse movie. I'd like to thank you guys again for joining me for this movie review. You can find the full review on YouTube and the website, flipfrogllc.com/flicksfrog. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. And please, pretty please, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.